China is not too happy about that whole lab leak thing. The communist nation slamming the FBI and accusing the Bureau of politicizing the deadly virus and wants America to respect science and facts. But that's not going to deter FBI Director Christopher Wray. This is what he said he thinks the Chinese are hiding.
I will just make the observation that the Chinese government, seems to me, has been doing its best to try to thwart and obfuscate the work here, the work that we're doing, the work that our U.S. government and close foreign partners are doing, and that's unfortunate for everybody.
China clearly wants to move on, and a former Biden COVID advisor might agree.
Even if the Chinese were to come forward and say nobody in their lab had been infected, that they did not have this virus in the lab, would anybody in the world believe them? And so I think we have to move on. And I worry that we're wasting time getting prepared for the next virus to hit us.
And all of that comes as Congress kicks off their primetime hearings on China. One witness says China poses more threats than the Soviet Union ever did.
General, do you think that China poses a greater threat to our freedom and the world's freedom than the Soviet Union ever did?
Congressman, yes, I do.
And this from Congressman Jim Banks, who was asking about what one of the witnesses thought could be happening inside the lab.
Do you think there is a chance that the Wuhan lab was involved in bioweapons research?
Well, I think that we know for certain that the Chinese military is involved in research into coronaviruses.
Okay, so that doesn't bode well for the world.
So it looked like it was a dual-use lab. You look at it for science, but you also look at it for bioweapons, and that's why we were sending some of these grants over there to finance the gain of function, but also get a little window into what they were researching to kill us. And that's probably why the CIA was like, I don't really know what's going on. But if it was bio and they did it on purpose, it backfired. Because now the whole world hates China. It kind of slowed their economic momentum down. And now we took a lot of our factories out of there and we're strangling them with export and import controls. I don't think that China is necessarily a bigger threat than Russia was. If you just look back at it, the nuclear weapons capability of Russia at the time was crazy. They had more of a worldwide ideological threat in Latin America and Asia. We lost a lot of guys in the Korean War, lost a lot of men in Vietnam. But I guess China is more of an economic threat. Listen, if the FBI, the Energy Department, which runs biolabs all over the world, 3 whistleblowers, and all of my friends in the virus community all say that this thing is man-made, then I'm going to go with that instead of Dr. Fauci, who was China's lab partner. He was the lab partner of the guy that killed 1 million Americans. And it's amazing that after 2 years, the Democrats did nothing on this. All they did was investigate January 6th. And then all of a sudden, the Republicans come in and we finally start getting some answers to what happened here. And still, the Democrats are still covering up. Not only are they covering up the January 6th investigation, but they're covering up the lab leak situation. What a bunch of you-know-what, Steve.
Wow, you sound like me.
You know what?
I was almost offended. What about the guy who says, let's just move on? Let's just move on.
He's a C word.
Oh.
A crackpot. Yeah, be suspicious of anyone who says we got to move on. You don't move on from 7 million dead, right? We need this. This can't be a show trial. It can't just be China, 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 the way Jan 6 was Trump, Trump, Trump. It can't be for political gain. You have to have specific goals and reach conclusions. Who was involved, what was done, figure out what we're going to do, and then we hang them. No, I don't know what we do. I love the lab leak deniers, what their excuses. Yeah. Now you're seeing the excuses come out. Their excuses are, well, the people that were pro-lab leak, well, they were Republicans. So they probably were racist, right? They were, because it's China. So we couldn't be on that side. So it's their fault for being right because they're bigots. It wasn't our fault for feeling that way. No, you felt that way. They weren't racist. You felt that way, and you're blaming your stupid feelings on the well, you're blaming your mistake on your stupid feelings. It's crazy how the left prioritizes evil, right? The same people who call it a hate crime when you dead name someone, probably have never heard of the Uyghurs, right? They don't know about the child labor that goes into their iPhones and their shoes, or that China probably killed their grandparents. But damn, you better not use the wrong pronoun.
Hey,
that's what we are.
You forgot all the coal-fired power plants are using. That's
yes.
another one, right?
Thank you, Dana.
The other thing that the Chinese have said is that our government is being very overhanded, and that we're like an authoritarian government.
Yeah. Apparently, the People's Republic of China demanded that the House Select Committee stop denigrating the Communist Party of China. I think they should not only denigrate, but they should delegitimize them. As far as we're concerned, we should be decoupling from China, but we can't do that because we have so many things that are made in China that we need, like all kinds of medicines, and that's the problem. But I'm hoping that the problem with China, and I agree, I mean, to say you can't do two things at one time, I mean, are you stupid? I mean, we've just got to get on to making sure we're prepared for the next pandemic instead of trying to figure out what happened to the last one. Oh, we could only do,
that's what caused that one.
Exactly.
Was planning the next one.
Yeah, but, to the extent that China is involved in the fentanyl undeclared war that we've been talking about, they should be declared a transnational drug organization because they're killing Americans. It is an undeclared war. And we were their lab partner. We were funding through the Eco Health Alliance, and everybody's covering their butt, and that's a sad situation. But I'm hoping that China maybe can bring Democrats and Republicans together. That maybe if we realize the danger of this country and what they're trying to do to us politically and economically and socially, I mean, it is frightening. So
that's what I wanted to ask Jessica about, is just how bipartisan this committee actually was. And yesterday there was no sniping towards each other. There was no snark. It was like serious and smart, and they brought people together in a prime time. Do you think that can continue?
I hope so.
As long as Republicans are in charge.
I'd like to say something about what Jesse said about Democrats obscuring what happened on January 6th, since we were the only ones, plus Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, who cared to actually talk about it in hearings. But I think that we can maintain it. There was a rally over the weekend here, actually, on the Lower East Side against the Chinese Communist Party, led by Richie Torres and Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin, a Republican and a Democrat. I think that it is something that can go forward. And to your point about why can't we do two things at once, why can't you just say it's feasible that it came from a lab? And it was low confidence from the Department of Energy and a little bit higher confidence from the FBI, and that people shouldn't have been racist. Like, it's a bad thing to walk around beating up Asian people and saying it's Kung flu. And it's possible.
You don't have proof that was connected.
No,
that's been the problem.
No,
the problem is there's a lot of anti-Asian violence.
Sure.
Had nothing to do with Trump calling it the Chinese flu. There's something else going on. You know that.
I know how to point to.
I have shorter arms, so it's less offensive.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
Yes, that's how it works.
Oh.
Your arms are very long. I felt like that was a microaggression.
Yeah.
And me being micro.
I know what you're eating my time. There is a direct correlation to having a virus that is killing people in this country that we know came from China. There was a huge spike in it, and I know that it was more black people that were beating up Asian people than white people, that it was ridiculous to call it a function of white supremacy.
Big Trumpers.
No,
they're big Trumpers.
I didn't.
Eat it up. Eat that time up.
yeah, go ahead.
That's really irritating. Jon Stewart is the best about this. If you haven't seen him with Stephen Colbert, where he's talking about the fact that this was probably a lab leak, and he does this hilarious thing where he says, there's a big flood of chocolate in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. We made that joke a year ago.
we
did the
did.
same thing, but you weren't there. But we made that same.
Well, I was on maternity leave because I made life.
Oh.
And
touche!
take that.
I will take that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't. Anyway, watch the old clip, and Jon Stewart is also
watch
funny
them all.
about it.
Watch it all, and watch us when we come right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.